I'm sure many of us know someone, if not you, who's felt uncomfortable talking about religion and money or just have feelings of shame or guilt about it. Welcome to Yahweh's Money, a podcast where we discuss the crossroads or intersections of religion and money. We're going to go deep into topics like tithing and saving and debt and so much more from the religious view. I'm your host, Shay Cook, CEO and founder, Crusaders for Change, LLC, and our co-host is Vanessa McNelly, one of our financial counselor, coach, educators. Let's talk about God and money. In a world full of Kardashians and Carters, how do women spend responsibly as Christians? Today's modern woman has so many expectations from society, so many. Every day we're exposed to 100, if not thousands of ads, many of which are geared directly towards women. Vanessa and I will be talking about women as spenders today. In Proverbs 31:25 to 27, it states, "She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. She carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness." Mm.
Oh my goodness. Now that is a biblical woman if I have ever heard of one. So thinking about what we're supposed to be according to God versus what society puts on us as a modern day woman today. It's almost
Hmm.
like we're expected to do all of that, but we have to pay for so many more things and do so many more things that help us attract partners and just kind of keep us in this place of being, a gorgeous, have it all woman today.
I know it is so hard, and just even to me, it's heavy. Like I remember trying to be that Proverbs 31 woman when I first got married to my husband nearly 25 years ago, and
Mhm.
even reading a full book about it, and it was just like, wow. To me, it felt so unrealistic. I tried, but being able to be clothed in the strength and dignity, laughing like there's no fear of the future, having always these words of the wise, giving instructions and watching over everything and not feeling like you don't want to suffer laziness. No, you got to be powerful and strong and you never cry and all of the above. It's a lot
It's
to be this
exhausting.
biblical woman. It's
Exhausting,
exhausting. Yes.
yes. And you think about all this and you think about women today as well and what we do now versus then. A lot of women have
Mm.
careers now and, they're raising a family. If before that they're trying to find a partner to raise a family with, all these things that we're supposed to do on top of all this. And just think about today, what we have to do as women. And not all of us kind of fall to the gimmicks, but think about women in their clothes today and just kind of what we have to put
Mm.
into ourselves to feel worthy in a 2024 world.
I know. And as spenders, I mean, we're all spenders, whether you're whatever gender you are. But like you said, the clothing piece, I mean, we have a lot more. I mean, we have breasts, so we have to buy bras.
Right?
I know men buy
Yep,
t shirts and stuff, but bras are expensive. And
exactly.
then, you can get some cheaper ones, obviously, but they market the expensive ones, right? I
Hmm.
mean, I know there's people that buy bras that cost hundreds of dollars. I've never bought those, but
Me either.
but yeah, that could be expensive. And then all of the lingerie and panties, all the stuff you got to do to keep your man or your woman, if you go that way, attracted to you.
Right.
you
Exactly.
know
Right.
I mean, and then all of the different, like, men, I mean, men are starting to wear skirts and dresses now, and I guess they
Hmm.
always kind of did off and on. But us, all of the different types of clothes that we wear, and from the skinny jeans to the loose jeans to the regular pants to the whatever. I mean, the
Hmm.
list goes on and on
Hmm.
and on, and just trying to change it and match it and make the outfit look great for this man or your
Yeah.
partner. It's a lot.
It is so much. And you think about this. So, most men have the option of shorts, jeans, or slacks. Those are your choices. We have all those options. Plus, we have skirts and we have dresses and we have all these types kind of in between all of that. And then, we have to impress each other as women as well. That's
I
kind of
know.
what's put out there. You definitely don't want to have on the same outfit or something that's similar to what someone
Yes,
else
that
is
part.
wearing. And you don't want to be
Exactly.
photographed in something that you wore last week, this week. And it's insanity to think about all these rules and regulations that society has kind of put on us as women now, to fit in and to fit into this mold. And, we're always having to worry about our clothing and then jewelry on top of that. And we want big, flashy things that someone else will, want and be jealous of. Which is not what a Proverbs woman would do back in the day.
Exactly. They're worried about the Proverbs woman is worried about God, themselves, and their family. They're not worried about society and everybody else. And I always heard women don't dress for themselves or men, really. They dress for other women. Have you
Agree.
ever heard that?
Agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree
Yeah.
with that because we throw shade and we throw shade quick. And I know, you are the self proclaimed shade queen, right? Uh,
I am. I am.
but I've never heard you do it with anything according to like clothing or women. Um,
No, not at all.
but yeah, I mean, we do this to kind of, peacock and be better than someone next to us
Mm.
because we use that as a leg up to find a partner and, to find someone that we deem worthy of our time. But it's exhausting if you think about it and you think about, I mean, I literally sit there some days and I'm like, oh goodness, I've wore the same pair of earrings like 3 days in a row. I better change it up. I don't think most men think about that, but
They keep the same earrings. Hey, you saw Usher the other day at the Super
yeah.
Bowl. I mean, he has his diamonds in his ear in a weirdly placed, I may say. But I mean, still, like he don't take them things out.
Mm-mm,
Like they're, I mean,
mm-mm.
I don't know. He may have several pairs of the same diamonds, but
Right.
they're the same, right? We're always
Exactly.
trying to match the outfit. The fit has to be totally coordinated. So everybody, and then you go out in the world and you want to hear those compliments because that's what you've been trained to say. Oh, those
Exactly.
are nice earrings. Oh, those are nice, bracelets, or I love your ring, girl, or
Right.
your necklaces and all the other. Now you got hair jewelry, you can put it
Mm,
all on your face, and it's a lot. I mean, your nose rings. I mean, the list goes on, and it's just
exactly.
it's
Exactly.
exhausting, but it's also affecting our finances. Hello, this is Crusaders for Change. That's what we're here for, right? Not only
Exactly.
God
Mm-hmm.
first,
Mm-hmm.
but the money piece too. I mean, it's affecting our pockets
It
like tremendously.
really is. And you think about, you have a budget and, you go on vacation and you have to have your outfit for, your day wear when you go out and you do your little excursions or your tours. And you have to have your different swimsuits for each day that you go to the pool. And then you have to have your evening outfits. And then let's say you go out to a club after dinner, you have to change into something else. So, you may have 3 or 4 outfits that you're buying for a day. And that's expensive. That is
That's very
so
expensive.
expensive. And then we have outfits that we wear around the house, and then outfits that we wear when we're going to have lunch with our friends, or things that we wear to church, or we have so many different
To the gym
genres.
or on the dates or whatever,
Right,
to your
right.
kids' functions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
And back in the day, you might have 3 or 4 things that you would change into. I mean, I remember like talking with my grandparents, and you would have a small wardrobe, kind of like what both of us had when we were in Germany. Those little
Mm-hmm.
those little shrunk wardrobe things that they would give you, and you might be able to fit, I don't know, 15, 20 items in there. And that was
Mm-hmm.
plenty. And that still is plenty. But we're
Exactly.
trying to show off and to be a part of society these days. And it's not enough on the outside world.
And it's so much. I know in the first few decades of my adult life, I was one of those that would buy complete all new outfits for every trip. And all those outfits you just listed, the babe, because I love the beach. We
Right.
always went to somewhere with a pool, new bathing suits and all the stuff that goes with that.
Yeah.
And then the lunch outfit and the park outfits if you're going to Disney or wherever you're going. And then, you got to have the dinner outfit or the going out outfit, and I would literally buy new outfits every time. And as I got into my 40s, no, I'm wearing the same bathing suits if it can fit. I'm wearing the same. I don't wear the same like Bermuda shorts and shorts to maybe for the last 5 years. I don't care
Right.
because like who
Right.
is really seeing this? And yes, you see my pictures, you'd be like, oh dang, Shay had the same episode had the same outfit on, and all of these different trips. Hey, I was comfortable. I didn't want to even worry about how I
Mm-hmm.
was dressing. I
Mm-hmm.
was just trying to have fun and be in the moment. So, but it takes time and maturity to get
It
there.
does. And realistically, people don't really pay attention to that. So you could wear something. and wear it 2 days in a row. And most people are like, I didn't even realize you were wearing that yesterday. There's this whole thing now with capsule wardrobes, which is wonderful. And the whole 333, where for 3 months you only have 33 pieces that you wear. And that, it's all your jewelry, all your clothes, your shoes, everything. And I've done that a few times in my life. And most people have no idea. Like they have no
Mm-hmm.
idea. But we are told about these pressures and taught these pressures that we put on ourselves. And we haven't even talked about makeup and hair yet. That's a whole other thing.
That's a big thing. And that's gotten to be more expensive over the
Oh
years
my
as well.
goodness. I know.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, I don't know what products you wear, but I think the older that I've gotten, I've learned that quality products do sit on my face a little bit better, like with makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I spend a little bit more on things, and I am guilty of buying colors and shades that don't work. And then I don't take them back to the store. So I might have 7 or 8 foundations sitting around and, 4 or 5 eye palettes on a good day. I usually have 20, but don't tell anybody. Um, so, we're spending all this money because things change and trends change. And, we want to be part of the in crowd.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with makeup, I about 10 years ago or so, I was like, it was funny. I was at an AFCPE conference symposium, our body or organization that provides our credential, our certification, and I fell in love with Bare Minerals and Bare
Hmm.
Essentials, and had a rep at the store match my color of my skin, and I've been wearing that for years. And I mean, I'll wear other brands of eyeshadow or mascara and all the other things like that, but I love makeup. To me, it's like art.
I
It's like
know.
playing with art on your face. I
Yeah.
mean, but you're right about the quality. But the hair care game, oh my god, especially for, I say, melanated black women, this gone to a whole nother.
Mm,
Before you used to go into a store and you had all of the white people's hair products, the straight wear. Now, and we only had a small section. Now we have the full aisle, and it's like, that's overwhelming, there's too many. It's just like, I don't know how you guys did that for so many years
there's
before us.
so
Like,
many
it's
choices.
so many options,
Right.
and they've gotten so more expensive.
Right.
So I used to do this curly girl box, and they give me all different samples, and then I fell in love with certain ones and I stayed with those. But definitely do samples. That's cheaper
Yeah,
and better way to budget, but if you can. But it's outrageous, all the different things.
it
And then
is.
getting your hair done,
Mm.
salons, color, $200, $300, $400. The list goes on. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I mean, God forbid you get extensions.
I know.
I mean, gosh, I did that a few years ago. And it was like every time I go, it was like over $1,000. And
Oh my God.
and I was like, what am I doing? It was one of those things where my hair was growing and it was short, and I didn't want short hair because short hair is not attractive on a woman. So you do what you have to do to fit in your head anyway.
Yeah.
But it's so expensive when you come up with all these products and you use 5 or 6 things when you're styling your hair. And yes, there are men who use that many or more too.
Oh,
So
it really, my husband. On his beard, not his head.
right,
He shaves his
right.
head. But even on
Yeah.
shaving, I don't want to leave out the men, even though this is about women and spenders.
Hmm.
Men, I know you guys are spending money on a lot of products as well. That's
Right.
how they get you. But yeah, it's really expensive.
It's so
Yeah,
much. And then you think about adding those things to your budget, because most people I know forget to add makeup and hair care and jewelry and
they
clothing and
do.
all that to their budget, and they just buy it when they see it. So a lot of our overspending is on these things that we see when we're out. And we're like, I have to buy it now because I won't be here next week, or I'm going out tomorrow night, or whatever it might be. But it really impacts our wallets.
Exactly. I mean, it's just overall overwhelming to be a woman with all these choices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, men can simply dress, or they can dress simply and don't need things like feminine sanitary products. I mean, I don't care. That is a fact.
Yes.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, there are men that are dressing, doing a lot more. You saw the recent football game, like they dressing to the nines, carrying bags like women. Hey, do your thing. I ain't mad at you, but you're not having to buy feminine products. Like,
Yeah.
what is that? And that stuff is expensive.
It is so expensive. And I know, like, even like in the prison system, that is such a
Ah,
huge problem because I think
yeah.
women are only given, gosh, I think it's like maybe 3 or 4 pads for like each time. And you're like,
What?
that would only last me an afternoon
Yeah,
back in the day, which is too
back
much
in the
information.
day.
But,
Yay.
it's one of those things where you don't think about that. Gosh, I remember being in high school, and I paid for all my stuff myself when I was back in those days. And I would spend, 20, 30, $40 going to the store, buying all these things that were a need and not a want, just to
Hmm.
like get through that week of your life. And that's something most people don't have funds for, especially when you're living on a tight budget.
Yeah, or you're in a low income household or underserved area or
Hmm.
wherever you may be. There's many schools now, I know in Maryland, I'm sure in many other states where they're having to provide feminine sanitary products for free to young girls because their parents can't afford it. And it's just sad when that has to be like that should be a
Yeah,
necessity.
agree.
So
Agree.
and it's just doesn't make sense. I think they said there used to be a female tax or a pink
There
tax
was a pink
on some of
tax.
these,
Hmm.
yeah, on these products. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is a necessity. So
Right.
I know people are going to the cups, and now and even that aisle is crazy. Like, there's so many options for
I know.
feminine products. And we're not just talking about pads and tampons. Now you got the cups and the sprays
Hmm.
and the washes and everything else. So the liners, there's 1,000 different liners, or different sizes and different, which is great because not every woman bleeds the same. Not every woman has the
Right.
same,
The
feminine,
underwear, yes.
the
Yep.
underwear. I
Hmm.
mean, there are so many options. So I would definitely say it's us being financial counselors. If you're doing your spending plan or your budget, you need to be factoring that in because this could be a pretty penny. You're talking about
Exactly.
maybe 30 to 50 to $100 extra a month, depending on what kind of product you like, how many you use,
Hmm.
how often you have your whatever
Yeah. And
menstrual cycle, or even in between the menstrual cycle,
yeah.
trying to stay fresh and clean. They market that.
Right, right. And
So
what if you need Tylenol because you're cramping,
your
or what if
cramps,
you
yeah,
need a heat pack or whatever.
heating pad,
So
or
there's so
yep.
many things that are associated with this that you don't even factor into that, like you're saying.
And the time off for all of that. I mean, we can go
Agree.
way deep in that, but we ain't the health experts
Agree.
here. But there's that just being a woman is expensive.
It
Period.
is very much so.
And a woman is expected to do so much more
Oh,
on top of that. I mean, hey, you got a period. I don't care. You still need to work. Still got to take your children. You still got to take your partner. You still got to do this. Still got to do that. And I know men do some, they work hard too. So
they do.
this is not a
Yeah.
male bashing episode. It's Women History Month, or if it is or not, but still, it's like women as spenders, we
Right.
spend a lot in
Right.
areas that men don't.
Well, and there's things that I don't think men would even think about. They've never had to. So, thinking about all these things, and even, when you're on your cycle and you feel horrible that day, let's just say you don't feel like cooking that night. I mean, that's extra money too with things. So, there's so many
Out
things to
eating
think
out.
about. So
And then
many
you
things.
crave too. Some women crave
You
during their
do.
periods and stuff. So you might want some ice cream, or you want a pizza. I mean, that's what my days. I had a hysterectomy. Hey, it's not TMI. I tell everybody I had a hysterectomy. Thank God. I was going
Right.
through some major crap with that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't miss it, but it's still a cost, and
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what? But in First Peter 3:3-4 says, your beauty should not come from outward adornments such as braided hair and the wearing of gold jewelry and fine clothes. Instead, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. That's all he worried about. He don't care what you
That's
wear. He don't care
beautiful.
what color your hair is, how much makeup you got. Honestly, make sure you
Yeah.
take care of your needs, obviously, the menstrual product stuff. But being all that stuff that we're talking about, the clothes, the makeup, the
Mhm.
hair, the jewelry, God don't care about none of that. He wants you to be a good human being,
Right.
you know,
And
and love yourself within.
I will say that like younger girls seem to be doing a lot better at this than we did, our generation.
Yes.
A lot better about this than we are. And I don't know if we're passing down, better ways to handle ourselves than our parents did to us, or the media, or whatever it is. But But yeah, I think younger women are doing much better at this than we have been doing in past generations. But
And I think because they have the world in their hands through their phones and their
right.
computers. I mean, there's pros and cons to that, of course, with social media, but they're also advocating for each other, supporting
Hmm.
each other on the positive side. And then, of course, there's the bullying and stuff on the bad side. But on the positive side, are like, enough is enough. Like, body positivity is huge. Like, there's so many resources that people didn't know about, like the menstrual cup. I didn't know about that. My daughter taught me that. She's 23. So, I mean,
Yeah.
she's teaching me a lot. They're teaching each other a lot. So when you're opening up the world to each other, different nations, different countries, different states, wherever you are, you're being able to share like, yeah, this worked for us and it's not that expensive, or this is a little more expensive. This works well, or we love you no matter what you are, bloated or unbloated. We love you. And so,
Right. Yeah.
I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but speaking about this and how,
Yeah.
beauty is not an outward thing, we're still overall as women, we're taught to age gracefully
Hmm.
as a whole, as a society. I don't know if it's worse here, I'm sure, than in other countries, whatever it might
Mhm.
be. But just think about like all the things that are geared towards us aging gracefully. I mean, there are surgeries, there are products to enhance use or youth to or to keep us more youthful longer. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, gosh, I have a night cream that I wear, and I think it's called like Back to High School, and it's like yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, I really hope this works because that would be amazing. To look like I was like 18. Yes, please. But, we're taught to age gracefully and to look young, but men don't have that pressure like we do. As
Mm.
a whole, now I'm sure some do, but we
Mhm.
look at men and we say, "Oh my gosh, how distinguished is he?"
I know, like my husband does. He's like with that gray hair coming in. He's like, I don't like it. I look old.
Right?
I'm like, man, you look sexy and wise and distinguished. And he's like, I don't want to look like that. I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't want you to look like a little boy either. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my husband to look like he was 18. Okay. So I would feel very weird at 45 dating an 18-year-old. No. So I'd rather have a sexy older man. I just say.
Right. But I think it still comes from the women are hard on other women.
Yeah.
And we do that all the time. We watch somebody
Yes.
on TV or we see an old friend and we're like, her crow's feet are getting a little out of
I was oh my
control.
god, get out of my head, Vanessa. I was gonna say that. Because women do that. They're so
We
shameful. So
do.
shameful.
We do. And it's bad because I catch myself doing it too all the time. And
Mm.
it's not like I don't know. It we're just taught to be that person. We're taught to do
Yeah.
these things or to say these things. And I think we do it because inside it makes us feel a little bit better. Because we are
Mm.
not as old looking as so and so that we went to high school with. We look a little better than they do, or whatever that might be. But why does that even matter? Because it doesn't, it
It
really,
doesn't.
really doesn't. And I know that, community wise, this is different for each of us. I know,
Mhm.
Shay, we've talked about this before, and, with different skin tones, they have different ways of looking at beauty, right? Like you're
That is so true. There's a difference with us melanated folks, especially our highly melanated folks. I mean, there is obviously colorism and different shades in the black and brown communities, as there is in Caucasian communities. But with melanin, we say black don't crack. Okay. And it don't. We when we age, man, I'll tell you. I don't know, these black women out here, they be looking sexy at 60, 70, 80. I have a grandmother who's 91, 92. She look her age, but she doesn't have all the wrinkles like more on the other side of the less melanated folks do in her age. It's a very different culture for us. I think
yeah,
we're more focused on like our weight
right.
than wrinkles and stuff. You don't see a lot of wrinkles
Mm.
with people that have darker skin.
I'm super
As
jealous, first off, number one. But you're so right too, because I know like my aunt just turned 70, and that has been like a death wish to her. Like she has been
oh
so
no.
upset about her age, and now she's old and no one's gonna want her.
Mm,
And you're like, girl, you are beautiful. Like she is.
yeah.
And the thing is she probably looks like she's 20 years younger than that. She has a
Oh
cute little
wow.
body and she has, beautiful hair and she
Mm-hmm.
dresses really nicely and does all these things that our Proverbs women would not worry about. But, she does everything that, she would ever need to do or want to do to be beautiful on the outside, because
Mm-hmm.
she's beautiful on the inside too.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's so sad to see these women who feel like their worth is gone when they age.
It is so sad. I mean, yeah. I again, in our community it's a little different. We embrace it. I guess we get scared as death is knocking on the door, right? And
Sure.
if you're to me, if you're taking care of yourself, no matter what race you are, gender you are,
Hmm.
that's going to reflect more than the natural wrinkles that come from the sun or whatever, where our wrinkles are just from our body. You're going to age differently if you're healthy, you're eating right, you're exercising, the stress, number one, before even the food, and the stress is you maintaining that. Like, I mean, and you're not worried I'm 70, 80. Oh my God, I'm about to die. You're like, hey, I lived a wonderful life as much as best as I could. I served God if that's what you choose. But I think to me, it's more, it should be, we know in the world of social, of, just the public as a whole, we're focused on aging gracefully, like we're talking here,
Right.
but we really should be focused on being healthy and happy. And I wish that, and like you said, the younger generation is trying to change that more, that narrative, because who cares if you got wrinkles? As long as
Agree.
you're happy and you're healthy, you
Exactly.
got your family. Yeah, they're going to be dysfunctional and crazy. That's all families. Okay. Welcome to the club. But as long as
Yeah.
you're maintaining that stress levels, anxiety, depression, whatever, mental health issues, you're dealing with those, doing the work. I think that should be what we're focused on. Not if you got some wrinkles,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
you don't look like you were in high school. I don't want to look like I was in high school. I look like a little girl. Now I look like a woman. Okay. And I want to look like a woman.
I
Okay.
agree.
Because
I
I got
agree.
woman's build. I got a husband. A kid. Okay. So that's just me.
Yeah. Well, and if we bring this back, Proverbs 30 through 31 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is
Mm,
fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate.
amen.
That's powerful.
That's a great way to end the episode right there.
It really is. It really
Charm is
is.
deceptive and beauty is fleeting, period. If
Mhm.
we could just put that on a billboard.
We really should do that, Shay. Let's save up some cash
I know.
and let's do
Yahweh's
that,
money.
right?
Charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting,
Let's
says the
do it in
Lord.
LA. That's where I want to do
I
this,
know,
in LA.
right?
Uh,
Let go of all of that, the
yeah,
Botox and all the other stuff. We all done it here and there, but come on, it
right.
shouldn't be solely about that.
It
If you want to
shouldn't.
feel younger and youthful, eat eat some good food, work out.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and you think about this too, and you think about beauty, and you think about marrying somebody or being with somebody because of their good looks, and those things go away. Just like this says, they go away. But a person's heart, that's what's going to stay. So, sure,
Mm.
yes, you have to be attracted to somebody. I understand that completely. But if it is all about the outward appearances, you guys are going to be miserable one day.
And you're not gonna
Absolutely
last.
miserable, right?
Yeah. And if you do last, you shouldn't be together.
Exactly.
So
And someone's personality and their inner beauty can make them so much more attractive on the outside.
so much more attractive. Oh my God. That is so
Exactly.
true. But that was a great way to wrap an episode, like I said. But any final thoughts?
I would just say if you're doing any of these things, like buying new clothes or getting Botox or whatever, do it for you. Do it because, it makes you feel better about yourself, not because of anybody else telling you you need this or need that. Like you said, Shay, we all do it. We all do those little things. But just remember that in the end, none of this matters. Absolutely none of it.
And you can't take any of it when you die anyway, like my daddy always says.
Exactly.
So when you die, you can't take the clothes, the jewelry, the makeup, the hair. Yeah, they hopefully will make you look good in your casket, or if you are cremated, that don't even matter either. You just need to take care of yourself and love yourself and do it for yourself and not for everybody else. Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the crossroads of religion and money. Also, we would love to hear your feedback on today's episode, so please leave us a review or just tell us what's on your mind. And remember to follow our podcast. If you have any questions or suggestions of topics for us to discuss, please email us at yahweh@crusaders4change.org. To hear all of Yahweh's Money latest episodes, please visit us at www.crusaders4change.org or wherever podcasts are found. God bless.